Hello and welcome back everybody to the channel. For those that are new here, my name is Brian Keith, aka Brian Keith Prepper. Please remember to share, like, and comment on my videos. Comments are always welcome. So please stick with me for today's video. Coming up next. Alright, on today's video we're going to focus on ways to keep things cool or cold when a power is out. Now I've got several things here that you can use, and we'll go over each one that I have, including a refrigerator. Now, as many people know, this is just a basic cooler. Yes, that is marked seeds because I did have seeds in there. I was keeping in there. I no longer have seeds in here. I have my seeds stored in a different container. Now these type of coolers is just a basic cooler. You can put ice in here or ice packs. You can store your food or drinks and even medicine in here. Now some of these may not stay cold as long depending on if you can keep the ice constant in there. However, during a power outage, and if you don't know how long the power is out, sometimes that's a hard thing to do, is to keep the ice going and keep it constant. So this can be an option for some, especially if you don't have much money, but it's probably not the best option. Now another option I have been looking into, this looks like a bag, and yes, it is a type of bag. However, this is a cooler. This is also a heater. This is what you call a 12-volt thermoelectric cooler. Now, as you see down there, there is the thermoelectric device. And down there it says hot and cold. And however you plug this in, you switch the plug and it gets it hot inside or cold inside. I picked this up on Facebook Marketplace probably about a couple years ago, and I've just never used it because I've kept it for times like this when we may need it when the power is out. This is by Centigrade, apparently. So I picked this up off a guy on Facebook for about $40 or $50. He said this thing was worth about a couple $100 when he first bought it, and he maybe used it once or twice. But the guy said he didn't really see any need in it anymore, so he sold it. However, me being a prepper, I did see need in this, so I did pick this up because my wife is diabetic. So if there was a power outage, I could use this to put her medication in and hopefully keep the medication cold using my solar power generator or some type of 12-volt access. I thought I unzipped it, so alright, now this is the inside of it, and this, of course, down there are your power supplies. Now I believe one power supply part of it is for the wall. Oh, it looks like this device is made by Coleman. Okay, cool. Well, it shows you how long it's been since I've had this device open to see what it is, so yeah. Designed in the USA. This is USA made. Looks like it's a Coleman product. So that's good. This is USA made. Yeah, good deal. So here's your system, your plug system. Looks like there's your household plug that makes 12-volt power. And it looks like it converts it to a cigarette lighter, so you can use it for this. And down in here is your cigarette lighter you can use in your car, on your solar power generator, or in the wall. So, and it looks like this plug is marked, so if you want it cold, you gotta have the cold marked up, and if you want to use the hot side of it, then you switch it like that and make sure the hot side is up. So This is another option for those that want to put their medicine or bottles of pop or whatever, or maybe a few cold beers in here when the power is out and you got your shotgun in your hand and you're waiting for those robbers to come while you're peeking out your window. Sit there and have a nice cold beer. So yeah, I thought this was a good buy for 40-50 bucks. So yeah, and this is pretty good insulation, so yeah, that's pretty good thick padding. So American made product here. And this just zips up the clothes. Now you can move this around like a backpack. So see, now I can wheel it around with my food in there, just like you're at the airport with a backpack. So there's my second device for cool. First device, second device. Now my third device, this is an apartment sized refrigerator. Right now I do have it plugged in and running. So as you see in back, it's plugged in to my solar power generator. And on the inverter it's running right now. Let me zoom in a little bit better. There we go. 75 to 80 watts is what this little fridge is pulling. So yeah, the voltage is still holding pretty good. So this little refrigerator pulls about 75-80 watts. And obviously I have an inspector here that just showed up. Miss Daisy. Hello, Daisy. She's like, "Tawag, hi Dad." Yep, Daddy's making a video. She's such a good pup. Daddy's puppy. Alright, gotta move, babe. Gotta move. Gotta move. Move that chunk butt. Alright. Now this little refrigerator I did pick up off Facebook Marketplace. I think about 20 some dollars. Man, it's already cold in here already. Oh yeah, that's nice and cold. Yeah, there you go. A little refrigerator. This does run. So that thing does work pretty good and uses very low watts, so I could run that fridge on that little solar power generator for quite a while and not drain down that battery. So I could probably run that fridge for most of the day and not have too much of a problem with the battery draining. So this is also another option you should look for on Facebook Marketplace or somewhere else that you guys can find a good little deal on a good used little apartment sized fridge. I would say look for something like this, or maybe something like this. If you can't afford any one of these products for 40, 50, maybe 60 bucks, try to find a cooler that maybe somebody's selling for 5 or 10 bucks. Now last but not least, you guys have seen this on a previous video. My regular refrigerator, the one I picked up off Facebook Marketplace and fixed this. So I spent maybe 10-20 bucks on this fridge. And apparently Daisy's gonna help me with the refrigerator. She says, "Yep, let's see what's in here." Now, yes, there are shell pieces down there I haven't put back together yet, and I'm not really too worried about it, because this fridge is mainly being used to hold a lot of my canned meats, so that way I can keep a lot of my meats a lot cooler in here. Now the number up there for the refrigerator is only set on 1, so it's on the lowest setting, but it's still pretty cold in here. So this refrigerator does get nice and cold for it being free. Well, for those that want to know, that is not mold. That is actually pork roast that's in there, so that's fat. That's fat that you guys see there. So don't worry, that's not mold. That's not mold. It's not botulism. So I do know how to can. These are the fats that you're seeing at the top of the jars. Since it is a lot colder in here, your solids, your fats will rise and harden. So you will see that, yep, a lot of the fats over there, they're all coming to fruition. You can see them a lot better instead of them just sitting on the shelf. So this fridge does get nice and cold, but this is an option. All my bread storage and some quick little pizzas. So Now obviously the quick little pizzas are not prepper items, but they are just Brian eating little pizzas. Gotta have pizzas. So, and you guys have seen this on a previous video. Running this fridge on that solar power generator only used 200 and what, a little over 200 watts. So running this fridge really wouldn't hurt the battery at all for most of the day. So this fridge actually pulls 100 less watts than my deep freezer does that's hiding over here. In fact, I've written it down on the side of my freezer. This was on the back of the freezer, so I wrote it over here so I didn't lose the information. 120 volts at 3 amps is about 360 watts. Now that's just all calculations, it's not actually plugging it in. But I'm not too worried about testing it out because I know this deep freezer will run on that, because this deep freezer is really old, just like this fridge is old, and older units run better on modified inverters than my newer refrigerators. This refrigerator will have a hard time. As you see, this is computer panel. So you see, this is all computerized, computer board in there. This is not the older type that just has the dial. These will run on modified inverters. However, these may not last that long because a modified inverter will burn out the computer boards. I've seen other complaints from other reviews and other viewers on other channels. So always use a pure sine wave inverter for these types of fridges with the computer boards. But if you have an older fridge that's just the old dial, the thermistor in there, the old thermometer things, you have no problem running it on that. No problem at all. Anyways, this was my little video on different ideas for cooling when you have no power. So now if an EMP or a CME does go off, most of these items may work, but then again they may not, so you'd probably be pretty much screwed on all of this. So you'd have to go with a cooler thing and just hope and pray that the meat that you have doesn't go bad, and you can get a lot of this meat canned pretty quickly. So hopefully the natural gas will still come out. You can light it with a match and just do your canning, and you can probably maybe get some meat canned at least before it all finally does go bad. So that's always an option also. I hope to God that doesn't happen, but by the way everything's going, who the hell knows. Alright guys, thanks for watching.